Okay, and so then that's actually where I got that amount. So I was showing you how to calculate a budget to figure out how much you should set aside a month for maintenance, repair, and tires, the things Americans forget to save for. Most Americans will actually take that money and spend it that they should be saving for operating their vehicle. And then when they have a car repair or scheduled maintenance, they stick it on the credit card. And that's how we end up drowning in debt. So this is why we're going to be proactive. We're going to think ahead because we can expect to have maintenance, scheduled maintenance, including oil changes. We can expect to have car repairs and we can expect to have tires. And this rate will include about what we should be setting aside for that on any of those classes of vehicles. So what I did here is I just moved that decimal over two spots because it told me for a small sedan it was 8.53 cents. So that's $0.0853. So I just moved that decimal over two spots. And now that I have that, this calculator here will automatically calculate for you what you should be setting aside based on the miles driven per month. And that's what's happening over here. It tells me that based on 1,250 miles a month, 1,250 miles, I should save 8.53 cents a mile. And that comes up with about $106 or around $100 a month I should be setting aside for repair, maintenance, and tires every month. So we've got that accounted for there. And again, this is money you'll save in your non-emergency fund savings account. This is the one that you save for vacation and large purchases in with your sinking fund. So you'll set this money automatic transfer to that account every month so you don't even see it, out of sight, out of mind. But that's how that calculates. So all you got to do is get that rate, put it in there from the brochure, and it'll automatically calculate based on your average monthly miles to tell you how much you should be saving. Now, for full coverage insurance, we also got that from the brochure. So all we did is took that 1328 over here and we divide it by 12. So that gives us the monthly amount that insurance should cost us. And that's about $110 a month. And we had to do the same thing with license taxes and fees. So what we did there is the same thing. It was 466 off the brochure, divide by 12 equals 466 divided by 12. And that'll tell us, whoops. And let me do this and undo that. Okay, that'll tell us it's 38.83. So if you mess up on anything, this button right here, undo, is your friend. And so that's where that information came from. So we should have $466 saved for taxes and registration. This will go into that same account, and you just know it's there, and that's what you're going to pull the money from when it's time to renew your license plates and get your tags, and when it's time to get a car repair or get an oil change. You'll pull that money out of the savings account. And then what this does here is it tells you, if you do have a vehicle finance. Now, if you know your actual loan payment, you could put it here if it was $300 a month. Now, Dave's taught you not to do this, and I hope you take that to heart. But if you choose to have a car payment, that's about $912 a month that vehicle is costing you. Cars are one of the most expensive parts of living. And so, if you choose not to do a car, you can take this whole line out and then just know you can put $50 a month for the Casper bus and take the Casper College shuttle. It might be a way of saving a boatload of money while you're in school. Sometimes mom or dad will help provide a car for you while you're in school. So you might talk to your mom and dad about that, so you can avoid this whole expense altogether. But because this is an expense that most teenagers plan on having when they get out of high school, we are going to estimate the cost here and put it in the spreadsheet. And that's exactly how I got this amount. It's gone down a little bit because I changed some variables, particularly gas price. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and change that to 10,949.33 because we're going to pretend this person does have a car. Now they've got to come up with, between scholarships and job, 19,559.33 because they've covered their food, they've covered their living expenses, they've covered their car, they've covered their books, they've covered their tuition in that total. So the next thing that we're going to do is look and see what level of Hathaway scholarship you might qualify for. And to find that, you'll click on this blue link here that says Hathaway level. So if you click on that, this is going to go ahead here and come up with the current Hathaway levels of funding. Now, the Wyoming State Legislature is in the process of maybe upping these amounts because tuition has gone up at UW, but we've also got less money coming in from selling coal, oil, and natural gas and other taxes. And so we may not see this increase, but it does pay at least for about half the cost if you've got a straight A student at the University of Wyoming, and almost all the cost at Casper College. So remember, we're just going to have to plan the first 2 years of training or college here. So if I know I've gotten mostly A's and B's, I could go ahead and plan on having a 3.5 grade point average. That's going to be more A's than B's, so about 50-50, half B's, half A's. And then I would know I would need to get a 25 ACT, and that would pay us $1,680 per semester. Okay, there are 2 semesters a year, so that would be fall and spring semester. But let's go down here to this level. Okay, this one tells me I got to have a B average. So if you've got mostly B's, and you can get a 21 on the ACT. So if you take the ACT and you don't get this score, you know you need to retake it so you can get the Hathaway dollars. Okay, and so maybe in reality, we know we kind of goofed off as a freshman and sophomore. We basically got a lot of D's, but we also got a lot of C's and B's. And so realistically, let's plan on us going ahead and getting a 2.5 grade point average and either a 17 on the ACT or a 12 on the work keys. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and it's going to tell me how much to save per semester. If I click on here, I'm just going to take the 840 per semester times 2, use the asterisk for times, equals 840 times 2, and that's going to, whoops, let me do this and then undo it. Okay, so you hit enter and then click undo if you mess up, and see how that takes 840 times 2 and it tells you it's 1680 there. So it's like a built-in calculator. And then I know I need to get a 2.5 GPA, which I transferred from this page, and I know it's the provisional level, and I know I would need an ACT of a 17. Okay, so what this does is it takes the total that you need to live, it subtracts what you would have in Hathaway, and it tells you that you would need $12,096, or excuse me, it tells you that you would have $9,269.33 to come up with. So now we're going to try to work, and we're going to say if we make $9 an hour for 20 hours a week while school's in session, that's going to be $180 a week. Times 4 weeks is $720. This will calculate it all for you. You just got to put in the wage that you're going to make at your job here and here. That's all you have to change. And then it's going to tell you your monthly net is $576 while school's in session. And then if we multiply that here times 3, because that's, whoops, and this one actually should say 9. I did these backwards, I believe. Okay, because that's 9 months while school's in session and work during summer. This one is actually going to be times 3 months. Okay, so you're going to make sure that says times 3. You're going to have about $8,640 from work. And that is after taxes. You're going to clear about that much a year from work. So what the spreadsheet does is it takes the $8,640 from work, it adds it to what you can estimate from Hathaway, and then it finds out that you're short about $700 after scholarships and work. So you'll need to find other scholarships and put them here and then type over this and tell us the name of the scholarship. If it does give you per semester, then you're going to multiply it by 2 and put how much per year you'll get in the scholarship there. That'll up the scholarship total. Or maybe we need to find a job that's going to pay us more. So I'll show you, I can just go up here and change a job. Maybe I'm going to find one that's going to pay me $10 an hour. Okay, notice now I've only got to come up with $330. So maybe I need to work at Walmart, which pays $11 an hour. So I'll go up here and put $11 an hour in. And now, aha, I'm in the green. I'll have $1,200 a year spending money. So if you see how this works, it takes all your costs and totals them here. Then you'll put your scholarships here, and these will count against these costs. And then you'll put in your wages you're going to work. You're going to work no more than 20 hours a week when school's in session. And in the summer, you're going to work at least 40 hours a week and maybe also get a part-time job, which I did not include here. So you could also, figure an average wage in an average week and then change that to 50 or 60 or 70 hours. And we're going to work like a dog in the summer. And you're going to keep doing that till this does not have a negative in front of it. If that does have a negative in front of it, that means that you're short and you're going to need to take loans to do what you need to do to live. So I know that's a lot, and I went over that pretty quickly. So you can listen to this video, you can go back and pause and replay, and this is what I'm going to look for in that column. I'm going to hear you say, okay, it's going to cost me, this plus this to go to school. It's going to cost me this in living expenses. It's going to cost me this in transportation. So my total costs are going to be this much a year. I'm going to work 20 hours a week when school's in session at this hourly wage, and it's going to equal this much. I'm going to work like a dog in the summer, 50, 60 hours a week at this wage, and it's going to equal this much. So I'm going to have this much from work, this much from scholarships, and it's going to leave me with that much money. And you just got to play with this until you funded school without